What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about advice that is good for people who are thinking about living in Norway. Advice for people who want to live in Norway. Foreigners who hear about Norway, they think it's the greatest thing ever. That's kind of, if you ever have seen one of my videos, it's mostly very positive and amazement at a lot of the stuff in Norway. And I think this Reddit discussion that I found here, this question about what is the most important piece of advice for people who want to live in Norway, I think that is a great topic. I bet a lot of people move to Norway thinking it's going to be amazing, fantastic, but for those who live in Norway, they probably have a lot of insight on the things in Norway you should really know when considering actually moving there. So, I just thought this is fascinating, probably a lot of interesting insights as well that you can only have if you're Norwegian, basically. Okay, so this person says, what I notice often is that people under and overestimate everything in Norway. Yeah, okay. To me, that means people think Norway is just amazing, and if they move there, their life is going to be amazing and everything's going to go great. And it's just really overestimating things. And overestimate and underestimate nature and living in Norway. Huh. Nature, too. That makes sense, because what I see on YouTube is just nonstop beautiful, beautiful shots of Norway, the nature. There's got to be some parts that are just normal, right? You got to have some normal expectation of that stuff. I've had a lot of people ask me in the middle of Trondheim which direction they have to hike to reach the Lofoten. I'm not sure what that means. Lofoten? Huh, let me Google that. Lofoten. It's an archipelago in Norway with dramatic scenery. Okay. In November. And they did not understand when I told them that's 1,000 kilometers. Lots of people have no geographical awareness and think Norway is just a village. Ah, I don't think I'd make that mistake, but I can see where people might not realize it's a small country, but not everything is right next to each other, literally. But it is 17, so Norway is 1,700 kilometers long and roughly the same size as Germany. Yeah, it's not small. It's small compared to the United States and stuff where it'd take you days to get across it, but it doesn't mean you can just get anywhere in Norway instantly. Then they see pictures of Norway in perfect condition. They assume Norway is always perfect. It is not. It's harsher than that. Okay, good advice. Norway is amazing, but usually it's wet, cold, windy, dark. Oh no, this is really shattering my worldview. It's good. It's good to have normal expectations, proper expectations, right? Norway has the second longest coastline, and with a stormy North Norwegian Sea affected by the Gulf Stream. Okay. They overestimate the simplicity of Norway. They see and hear these stories of happy, beautiful, rich people circled by all of their friends living the good life. Yes. This is one that I would be concerned a lot of people fall into. They think if they just move to Norway, they're going to be happy, live with happy, beautiful, rich people, and that's going to happen to them, and everyone's happy, and everyone's wonderful, and there's just no way that that's the reality. You actually have to, succeed in your own life, no matter where you are. Living in Norway could certainly make your life better, but that's your responsibility as an individual as well. They assume by simply moving to Norway, they will automatically experience this life. Yes. Yeah. They will not. It's not impossible, but you have to be prepared for that. Right. That's good advice. That's actually good advice. What else? And yes, Norway is rich as a country. High standard of living makes it seem like everyone's rich, which might look correct if you look at the income compared to the rest of the world. But everything is also proportionally more expensive. Yeah, that's good advice for people moving to Norway. Uh, Maybe things will work out and you'll be rich, but remember, things are expensive in Norway too to compensate. Yeah, it's good. Especially everything that is a luxury is expensive, extra expensive, especially alcohol. uh, okay. Norway has a sophisticated educational system, making the job market highly competitive. Huh. Well, that's a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. It's great for Norway as a country and an economy. Their job market is highly competitive, education's great, but then the expectations are high. So if you're moving to Norway, you have to be, this is good advice, you have to be ready for a very competitive job market. You're going to have to get a job in Norway, and that could be difficult. Yeah, this is very practical advice. Very practical. You need good education for high demand jobs. However, most of the people I met that have moved to Norway left within 2 to 4 years, mostly coworkers. Wow, for economic reasons and not making good connections with locals. Wow, not like able to make friends and connections. Yeah, just because if you move into a foreign country and you're a foreigner, there's gonna be like that barrier that could exist. You could have trouble meeting people, and you never know. Things might not work out the way you imagine. Okay, all right. I totally agree with this. I'm an American, and I love Norway. Interested in living there someday. Moving locations won't make you happy or unhappy. They just change your situations. Yes, moving to Norway is not just going to magically solve all your problems, but it would still be like super cool. Join organized activities. That's the next piece of advice. Join organized activities. I think that's good advice no matter where you are. If you're in America too, that's how you meet people. That's how you meet people that have a similar interests as you. Joining clubs and activities that are things you're interested in. Good advice, especially in Norway. Uh, yeah, this person agrees. Good advice. If you come from cultures where people stop and chat everywhere, you're going to be disappointed in Norway. Right, because in Norway, people apparently have a little thicker shell. They're not just going to randomly strike up a conversation with you in the grocery store line. But there are ways, like fun activities with people. That's good. Hiking, knitting, okay. Good activities. What else we got here? Embrace your personal space. Right. To become truly Norwegian, you must adopt the large personal space and respect personal space. Honestly, even if you're in America, please do that. Please, I wish more Americans would do this. Do not underestimate the value of a pair of good wool knitted socks. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, are they super warm? Are they super cozy? I think I get it. Sounds good. Buy a waffle iron. Okay. This is the advice I never imagined, never expected. Buy a waffle iron. I mean, you could buy a waffle iron anywhere. Is it extra important in Norway to have a waffle iron? Are you going to be a real outcast if you don't have a waffle iron? Okay, good to know. Do you have a recommendation? Oh. Why the waffle iron? Yeah, why the waffle iron? Can I see? Can I open that? Everyone needs a waffle iron in Norway. Well, that didn't really explain anything. Okay. What else we got? As a Norwegian who likes living in Norway, most people not from similar countries will often be very disappointed. A lot of people saying that they've experienced foreigners moving to Norway and being very disappointed with their experience there. That's kind of sad. And it's sad that this is like kind of common. Even when we warn people that it's cold and dark here, and no, we really mean dark and cold and wet. People underestimate it. Yeah. We warn that things are expensive. They underestimate it. We warn that it can be lonely. And it's not heaven. It's not heaven. You're not going to heaven just by going to Norway. Yes. That's one way of saying it. These are good, by the way. This discussion, advice for people wanting to live in Norway. This would actually be very helpful for many people. They should read all this. They should listen to this before making the leap and moving to Norway, because some of this stuff has actually been super helpful and realistic. That's the main thing? Just being realistic with what you're going to get out of it. As an immigrant in Norway, my most important piece of advice for those moving to Norway is their own will. Do not come without a job. Some think Norway has having a great welfare system. People won't let people on their own, but that's exactly what happens if you're not in the system. If you're not a Norwegian citizen, you're not going to get Norwegian welfare assistance. So if you're moving to Norway, try to have a job lined up. Well, that's good advice. If you're moving anywhere, hopefully you have a job lined up. But in Norway, it could be extra difficult. If you don't have a job, you won't have an ID number, and you won't have access to free healthcare. That's good. Yeah, that's really important to know. Wow. This. Yes, this person agrees. Yeah, okay. Learn Norwegian. No, never. Good advice. But I have to say, selfishly, I'm very happy that Norwegians are so good at English. Very good. So selfishly, I feel like I might be okay, but come on. If you're moving into a new country, it'd be respectful to just put in some effort, learn Norwegian, learn the local language to the best that you can. Just put in an effort. I agree with that. My advice is to ask immigrants how it is. Ask people who have immigrated to Norway. Ask them how it is. Huge difference between a native Norwegian that speaks fluent Norwegian, is established in the system, versus being an immigrant. Yeah, the life of an average Norwegian citizen is not the same as an average Norwegian immigrant. Yep. This advice is tailored directly to people, foreigners. So, yes. Norway scores high on standard of living. That does not mean everyone will be happier in Norway, right? Norway gives a good foundation for outdoor leisure activities in the summer and winter. But if you prefer a Mediterranean climate, Norway won't be your dream place. Yeah. Look at the weather before going to Norway. Manage your expectations. Norway is ideal for some, others it's not. Yeah, perfectly said. Very well said. As an immigrant from Finland to Norway for 2.5 years, they say the language. Start learning from day one. Okay? Build your social network. It takes time and effort. Work. Adapt to Norwegian business culture. Norwegian business culture sounds amazing from what I've heard. So maybe there's something here I'm not familiar with what they're saying, but that just sounds like good, the Norwegian business culture. Don't try to bring your own culture with you. Yeah, adapt to the culture. Become part of it. Yes. Relaxed pace, good work-life balance, low hierarchy, self-organized, high trust. Yeah, that's what I meant. The Norwegian work culture just sounds good. Like, that won't be a problem. I can adapt to that. Learn to cook. Dining is expensive. Dining out. Frozen pizza is crap. What? No. I know Norwegians really like frozen pizza. There's that one famous frozen pizza I learned about. I'd eat it. Frozen pizza doesn't have to be amazing. I could survive. Okay, good advice. Get good hiking boots and rain clothes. Yeah, that's practical. Learn the language. A lot of people saying learn the language. Don't just rely on them, Norwegians, to speak English. Try to learn the language. Yes. Don't talk about the trolls. The trolls don't like it when we talk about them. Oh, excuse me. Don't talk about it. Shh, they can hear you typing too. Okay. Don't bring up the trolls. They could be dangerous. As an immigrant, you could be lonely. Making friends is hard in adult life. I find that that's true even in America. No matter what, where you are, as an adult, there's just less opportunity to make friends. But I could see it being amplified in Norway. So, yeah. Bring a hat. Bring a hat. All right. You heard it here first. uh, Listen to the advice and perspectives of those who have lived in the country. Yes. Well, that's kind of what this whole thread is, right? This whole discussion. This is good. Like, a lot of people giving good advice. Like, I'm very impressed by this. The Norwegians who come to Reddit, r/Norway, give very good answers. Very honest, good, helpful answers. Use sunscreen. That's the advice? Sunburn? Huh. In the north, the sun can come at an angle that allows more UV rays to reach your skin? What? Really? Yes, sunscreen should be used all the time. There's always sunlight even when it's not visible? What? I had no idea. What? That's like scary to me. I had no idea. I'd never heard that. Do Norwegians really use sunscreen? There's ultraviolet light, or because of how north it is? What? Really? Is this true? That's very random. Very helpful. Okay. I mean, I liked this whole discussion. That was great. Very insightful. Yeah. Just make sure first and foremost, advice for people who want to live in Norway: get your expectations correct and plan accordingly in advance. And don't think that it will solve all your problems just moving somewhere. That's like the main three that I saw today. And that's good. That's very good advice. So I like this. That was good. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.